Welcome to the Trainer Club, guys. We have one of the most lucrative bonus community days coming up to Pokemon Go. Let's check out my top 5 tips for Shiny Cyndaquil Day coming to Pokemon Go this Saturday. Here we go. My favorite days of the month are the Shiny community days for Pokemon Go, and this one is going to be the most epic one, not because of just the cool Pokemon, but because of all of the bonuses that are intertwined with this day. So before I start, make sure to sub and turn on that notification bell to get all of my content. We are going to be playing Let's Go live streaming for you guys as well. And then also, guys, drop in the comments, I want to know how much Stardust do you think you're gonna get, and then come back and tell me how much you actually got, because that is my question. I think we're gonna get a ton. I wouldn't be surprised if some people get close to 1 million Stardust in 3 hours.
We are looking at the start times for the event. As always, it is going to be the same, but I will go over it once again every single time to make sure you know if you're a new player. So for Europe, Middle East, Africa, and India, we are looking at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. UK GMT, or 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. CET. The best way to find out here is to go to PokemonGoLive.com, and it'll tell you what your time zone for your start is. North America, South America, and Greenland, for Pacific savings time, we are looking at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then Mountain Time, we are looking at 12 to 3. Central Time, we are looking at 1 to 4. And Eastern Time, we are looking at 2 to 5. And then Asia and Pacific, we are going from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. JST.
Since we have this Stardust bonus on, we are going to get into my top 5 tips to make sure that we maximize and completely do the best things that we possibly can to get the most out of shinies and the most out of all the bonuses that we have. So my number 1 is going to be the bonuses, because we have 2 times catch XP and we have 2 times Stardust during this event, on top of the already Stardust event that just got launched, which is the Stardust Blast. And I think the reason they're calling it that is because the combination of this community day with the Blast Burn, I don't know, but what we're getting is 4 times the amount of Stardust per catch. If you have a sunny day and you're catching the Cyndaquils with a weather boost, you're getting even more. And then of course we have to put on our star pieces, our lucky eggs, and our incenses, which is my tip number 1, throughout the entire time. And use the timers on your phone every 30 minutes to remind you to repop these, because you do not want to miss out on any of the bonuses, because with the star piece, that 50% increase for the Stardust, you're getting a 6 times multiplier. And then if you have the weather boost on top of that, you could be even higher. So wow, that is a ton of Stardust for 3 hours, guys. What is gonna happen? I can't wait. Please let me know in the comment how much Stardust you get in this 3 hours, because I really want to know what the most amount of Stardust somebody is going to get is going to be. And then my number 2 tip comes down to making sure you have enough bag inventory, especially Pokeballs, Pineapple Berries, Great Balls, Ultra Balls, whatever you're going to use, because these guys are a little bit harder to catch. I know that for the community days, they do allow you to catch them with a better increased catch rate, but he's still a little difficult. So when you have the higher ones, you're going to want to use the Ultra Balls and the Great Balls. And last time I was out of Pineapple Berries for the Beldum Day, completely out of Ultra Balls and Great Balls. So right now would be the time to start stocking up, and maybe just use your Pokeballs right now for catching the regular Pokemon with your Stardust boosts right now, which is hard to do, I know. So for your bag, I would say probably at least 200 to 300 spaces, depending on how many you want. And then if you have to go through and delete, I would go through and delete the low CP ones, even though they could have an IV that is good. But if you have to and you don't have enough space, that's what I do. I'm gonna have about 300 space to catch all of these Cyndaquils. And then that brings me to my number 3 tip, which is going to be to make sure to be in the best location, place that you possibly can, and to print out the 100% IV Cyndaquil chart and keep that with you, to know that if you encounter a Pokemon that you are going to have to check the chart. Number 1, to see if it's a level that it will work. So if it's a 20, make sure it lines up with the 20 CP, and then you can go ahead and IV check it in your game, and then it will tell you if that is that. Also, what you want to do, Number 4 tip is to make sure to use the quick catch trick, which I am going to link right after I talk about this to show you and make sure that you're doing this properly, because it will help you out a lot, especially with this 2x catch XP and this 2x, 4x to 6x Stardust boost with the event, the bonus, and the star piece on at the same time. So we cannot miss out on any of that.
Here we go, guys. We are going to learn how to do the quick catch trick in Pokemon Go. So the first thing we need to do is obviously locate a Pokemon. And this works for any type of ball. So go ahead and select the ball you want. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to push down on the ball tray and slide it over. Notice how my finger that pushed down on the ball tray is still on the screen and never lets go of the screen. So then with the other hand, this is going to take 2 hands, you can then pick the ball up. And notice when I do let go of the ball tray, it is going to pop out like that. So that's basically the premise of what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and use a berry. And then for all the left hand throwing players, you can also do this with the left hand, which you're going to put your right finger over the berry tray, and then you're going to throw with your left finger. So first we're going to do it with the right hand throwing player. So I pull that ball over, I go ahead and wind up, and I let go. And as I let go, you notice, boom, I pop the berry tray open by letting both fingers go, and the run button has popped up in the top left corner, and you go ahead and click that. So it was a little bit difficult to see there, but boom, look, the Oddish is in your bag. So that is the trick and the key. So here we're going to do this with the Piplup. We're going to go ahead and do it with a left-handed throw. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a berry, and then I am going to go ahead and pull that berry tray over with my right finger, keeping my right finger on the screen, wind up, and then whenever I'm ready, it's a little hard for my left hand, go ahead and throw that and release it. And you can just click out right away, or you can wait until the 3 tricks and then go ahead and click in that top left for that run button, and boom, you caught that guy and he is sitting in your bag. That little Piplup right there. So that is how you do it. So the first thing we're going to do is take our non-throwing hand and we're going to place it on the tray ball. We're going to pull it over. Once we pull it over, we're going to take our other hand. So we have 2 hands on the screen and we're going to wind up and throw. Once that happens, we let go of the ball and the tray comes out as shown in the box. Once that tray is out and we hit the Pokemon, we then click on the screen outside of the tray, which will then close the tray. So once the tray is closed, we can now click run from this Pokemon, because the run button has now glitched and is still up in the top left, so we don't have to see the shake screen anymore. And once I clicked run, I then click on the Abra and boom, I have an error message. And some of you may be like, what does that mean, having an error message on the screen when you click on a Pokemon? Did it despawn? The answer is, let's check our bag. Boom, that Abra is now in our bag so that we have him, and we did not have to watch the shake, 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 catch, then click OK type screen. So watch this in fast motion. This is real speed. Gonna go ahead and hit that Paris, click out. Gonna hold down on the ball tray, pull it over, throw it at the Ghastly, click out, run, and then go on to my next Pokemon. I'm gonna go ahead and use this for an Ultra Ball. Pull over, click out. So this is real speed of how quickly I can catch these Pokemon, and I will show you in a second what my bag looks like. So here we go again. We're gonna hold the non-throwing thumb on the ball tray, let it go as you throw, after you throw it, once you hit the Pokemon. And some of you guys may want to watch this again just to make sure that you get the initial part. And as you see me click on these guys, those guys have already been caught. As you'll see in 1 second, there was a Nidoran here that I did not get. Boom, all gone. And there it is, each one of those Pokemon sitting in my bag. At that speed, you can encounter an incredible amount of shinies and candy all at the same time without having to compromise.
And then my number 5 tip comes for after the event. I suggest, since now we have a 1-hour window, that you find a friend and you start trading Cyndaquils with high CPs first to try to roll for Luckies. Because if you roll for a Lucky Cyndaquil and then you evolve it in that hour, you're going to get the Blast Burn move. And Blast Burn is extremely effective it's a really, really good move. So if we get a lucky Cyndaquil, we're able to evolve it with the Blast Burn, and then we can power it up, or even with the shiny too. You could try that, even though you only get one shiny roll per day, which is considered a special trait or a legendary. So that is another option that we have. So what we want to do is make sure to trade as many Cyndaquils as we can, and then evolve them, and then even evolve some extras, because once this day is over, Blast Burn becomes legacy. We can no longer get this move, so we're going to want to have as many Typhlosions as we possibly can with the Blast Burn. Even though he's not quite as effective as Charizard, it is still a really dominant fire move, and it's a 2-bar special, which I love for attacking, especially when we're fighting these legendary Pokemon. So that is what I would really suggest to do. And then one more thing I wanted to mention to you guys: if you're going to be prestiging with Ultra or best friends with people, what I do is I save them, if they're close, to Community Day, because I'm usually popping eggs and other people are popping eggs. So during the middle of Community Day, right when it starts, I will go ahead and hit best friends, ultra friends, great friends with whoever I have saved up to increase the amount of XP all at the same time without having to pop an egg, hit the friendship level, and then waste the rest of the egg as usually, because now we have a purpose for these eggs, which is in this 3-hour window, especially now that we have that double catch XP and we're all going to be popping eggs. Everything else in between is very, very important. Make sure to be in the great location. Make sure to have all of your bag inventory. Make sure to have enough Pokeballs, Pineapple berries, whatever you're going to use during this event. Make sure to pop your incense, make sure to pop your star piece, make sure to pop your eggs every 30 minutes throughout the entire day. Make sure to evolve your high CP IV guys that you already have saved up so that they can get the Blast Burn. And then make sure to keep your head down, stay grinding, and of course be the best trainer that you can possibly be. And so if you have friends out there that do not have this, make sure to share this content with them so that they know what to do, so that maybe you guys can trade with each other, and then you can get the luckies and then be able to power up a couple of Typhlosions with Blast Burn without having to put as much Stardust and usually waste the Stardust that we get during that event to power up some of these guys. So those are my top 5 tips, guys. I hope you absolutely maximize this and have the most amount of fun. Thank you for tuning in, guys, and I will see you out there catching some shinies, getting some Stardust, and getting a ton of XP.